Okay, so apparently, I am currently being threatened with the belt by my ancestors, um, to get my ass up here and express myself and stop fucking playing around and um, believing myself and shit. So here I am. I just felt the incense like really kick in for me. So I don't know what this is going to be, but um, this is Thinking Out Loud by Interstellix. So we have some cards as well that I'm going to be using eventually, I guess. But this first episode is called um, Fuck Pluto, Fuck Love, Fuck 50. Ugh, I can't speak. Fuck Pluto, Fuck Love, Fuck 50. And it's a play on the meme when 50 Cent is like, um, I look at the computer and the computer say, fuck, that meme. Okay, well, it's for a reason that I named it that, honestly, because Pluto just went direct. Venus is now in Libra. It is making love to my Mars, and I am single as shit. I have a crush, but we're not gonna talk about that. And I'm too pussy to admit it to the person. So, um, speaking of love, we gonna get into it. Um, we gonna get into it. The whole fuck love part, because part of me being scared is because I'm afraid of like not seeing clearly. Um, and kind of got caught a delusional bitch Saturday. So, not on purpose. It was with love. I felt it. It was necessary though. I pay good money to like really. I can just tell when I need like a kick in the ass or something. So yeah. So I've been speaking of Pluto. Pluto went direct, and I mean retrograde like in March or May. I can't fucking remember, but it was earlier this year, and that's in I think so at a similar time. I'm bad with dates, but both Neptune and Aries. When Neptune went retrograde, that fucked me up too. Um, Something with the illusions, the rose colored glasses came off again, and then with Pluto as well, it really like was like a shattering like tower moment for me. Like it was just back to back bullshit, and it was like, you know, all the illusions were getting crumbled and balled up and put on fire and like blown back in my fucking face, bitch. And it kind of shook me raw hard. And it's been taking me a minute to fully get over it. And that's why I'm here, because it's been hard to get past it, because there's something I need to express and get off of my chest. I am currently in my bed. If you hear snoring, it is Mr. De Niro. Dog, I've been dog sitting for a minute. He snores like a grown man. He may even poop a little bit. And I know Poon is a little country, but he may like pass gas. Fart. Excuse my language. Um, so yeah. Um, Anyways, I'm gonna just start, see what goes. I'm not gonna say too much. Um, don't have a candle this time, but I do have incense. So this usually helps anyway. Um, the main illusion Pluto has been like stripping away from me is like looking at the reality of how much control I was under, and how I was a lot of my relationships were one-sided, meaning I was only there to like kind of serve a purpose for them versus me seeing them as a genuine friend, lover, parent, um, and trying to show up as like that person for them, like a daughter, friend, lover, right? And first of all, I'm not the type of girl, never been, never have been. For instance, I've been a lot of men with mother wounds. I've been getting it. I've been all my life. I've been like fighting literally um against, having to kind of stand up for myself against um in the home and outside. Um and it was pretty like uh a repeat this year, but I had more interactions with feminines as well. Um the type that needs to be the center of a group. It's not center of it, like not needs to be the center of attention. Well, I guess it's the same thing, but someone who like kind of like a Mean Girls type of thing, like someone needing a ton of minions, a ton of like needing a clique, those type of women. Um, I get along with other kinds of women who can like kind of stand on their own and it's like non-competitive or something, but people who operate in like groups like that, um, I kind of like. It's only been like twice this year. It was at work and at school. Not my current place of employment, but um, my previous one. It was definitely like very toxic. Got very hostile. And the thing about the whole rose-colored glasses thing is that, um, and with Pluto going retrograde, forgive me, like I'm into astrology. I love it, study it, but I'm not great with the dates. Like, cause like I'm just not checking it every day, or I just kind of get my updates when the people I follow like let me know the week of. So I probably forget the dates or something, but general time frame. Um, so whether it be like a week or two before or something, something went something or whatever. Um, but the whole thing about the rose-colored glasses getting like shattered and stumped on and stuff like that when both of those planets it bust a little move for a minute. I like I said, like the illusion of realizing how terrible the relationships or the people that I was trying to be friends with were to me. Um, how they saw me. I started seeing like that, like some people saw me as like a joke, like the butt of a joke, like because it's actually pretty weird. I can get into all like the psychology and real. I understand that people who aren't authentic in themselves, they look at anybody who does anything differently um as weird, you know. I remember like even showing like genuine like excitement. People would, when I say people, it's specifically like one girl would kind of like make fun of me for it. Like, like I was like kind of, I don't know. It's now that I think about it, it's actually fucking stupid. Like, why would you, what's to make fun of it about, you know? But I don't know. I just noticed that every time I would like express joy or like be like really sentimental about something around them, whatever, we always had something to go whisper about and like make a joke about to like someone else that was next to them. And it kind of like put me off because I wouldn't do that to them. And yeah, like, I don't know. I just started realizing that like she really wasn't my friend. and people actually had like a they saw me completely differently than I thought they did. You know, I don't even know how I can truly explain that. Um, I was not, I wouldn't call that a relationship. I was being used because, again, I was also seen as a joke for genuinely like thinking everybody was my friend, um, thinking that I was in a reciprocal situation romantically. Um, that wasn't the case. It was actually worse and some shit I wouldn't have ever guessed or could have ever imagined in my fucking life to turn out how the way that it did. Um, and truly understand like when everything went, like everything was shattered and pulled off or whatever. I saw like I truly understood what it's like to have been like sleeping with the enemy, basically. Literally, um, being with someone, venting to genuinely like talking to someone who like was actually just looking for information or just like looking for ways to like create this master plan to fucking hurt me physically, all because I refused to go along to get along. I refused to not fight for clarity. And I was looking for accountability with him and his friends, and didn't like that. How dare I? I have a mouth on me because I ask questions, and I'm never gonna stop asking questions when things don't add up. And I feel like people like that. Basically, he is snoring. Hold on. Basically, um, I woke up to like just how evil people could be genuinely and not feel a way about it, not really have a real reason to be behaving in such a way. Like, all you have to do is expose someone's true character, expose someone's facade, expose someone's um, not facade, like, yeah, expose their facade, but also um, see through them, you know? I can't even think of the words. De Niro, wake up a little bit. I'm talking about he whined just so he could. Jesus Christ. But I've never seen like people who hated being, like I said, held accountable or questioned for a good reason, um, jump immediately to such extremes to hurt someone, you know, because they won't like just go along and get along. And mm, it was very hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot for me um, to realize and even just last night, I had like a little bit of a release moment of crying really bad. And actually, I was gonna be vulnerable. I was like feeling unlovable because I just didn't understand like why in this world is it such like a bad thing to like believe in people or just assume people have good character, you know? Like, this entire time, I thought everybody was operating off of the same moral or like compass or something. Like, for instance, I realized like the dude that I was dealing with earlier, again, he was like double my age. Don't judge me. I don't know if I'll ever date that old again, simply because of how controlling and domineering that person was. But he put on such a facade to everyone around him. And I thought I was being so careful because I had a friend that knew him longer than me. And so, based on what she knew, like, I thought it was safer to kind of trust him as faster because of how he was um there, like, around everyone else. But I learned by getting closer and dealing with the person and getting to know the person that it was a complete facade. And as far as like going on like a whole, I want to touch on a couple things that like I noticed in my chart and I was kind of warned about from other people who have read for me and just the world in general. Um, the whole pedestal thing. I don't think I put people on a pedestal. I don't think, I mean, believing in people, yes, that is a pedestal, but basic morals like respect, loyalty, like honesty, truth isn't like, it should be standard, not a pedestal. Like, that shouldn't be something that is seen as too much to be asking for, especially if you're parading around here like you're some good person. Like, you just so helpful, you such a provider, whatever. Um, but this is when I realized like I had to basically in hindsight I realized just how terrible not only that person was and but how like they were curating a lot of the chaos that was happening by lying and would spread certain information. It was very intentional on his part, very orchestrated. And I remember it finally clicked, like looking at how, like, looking back, mind you, I was called judgmental by this person so much, um, when it was literally just me judging their character as I should have been and whatnot. But I remember feeling bad about it, and that's why I would let so many things slide because I didn't want to come across that way. I didn't want to seem that way, whatever. And so, I remember having a conversation with this person, and it hit me yesterday too. And we were talking. I don't know how we got on this conversation, but basically, we were on the topic about like, what would you do if someone dropped? I don't know how it came up. What would you do if someone was walking in front of you and they dropped a $20 bill or something? Um, Me, because I've had it, not that happen, but I've had people accidentally send me $100 via Cash App, and I have a very specific Cash App like tag, especially for my business, right? So, um, like for instance, someone sent me $100 on accident. I was excited at first, but I saw the picture and it was like of a grandpa or something. I was like, oh, he's confused. Let me send this man his money back, And I could have been dirt broke. I didn't care, and sent it back as a proof of it. And then it was like he was telling like what he would do, and he was like, nah, like I'm not doing that shit. Like if someone dropped $20 bill or something, like he's like, it was like, shows you the mind of a criminal, really. Um, he would like, not, he ain't saying shit, it's his. And I guess that's just how some people are. They can sleep at night being that type of way. Um, This person was also the type to who didn't actually mind like taking um a minor to like sell recreational drugs as because he wanted to make extra money on the side, the minor. And I'm like, why wouldn't you, as the adult, redirect him to like getting a fucking job, walking dogs, cutting grass, or something? And I was like, I questioned that in the moment, but it wasn't really my place. Like, like that's wasn't my place. I just noted that, and I was just like, that's when I think that's when I started to realize, like, yeah, this isn't really it, right? Um, like it wasn't really gonna go anywhere because I like, first of all, like not having any, like there's no way I would ever let a man like that around my child, right? um, but anyways, I just like just during that whole like retrograde in like initial season, I was coming to a lot of the like realizations of who people actually were, and it was devastating. And I beat myself up a lot about it. I still do. I did it last night. I'm not even gonna lie, and I had to really correct myself about it because I can't be mean to myself like that anymore. And then just knowing how like when I say like fuck love, like this same type of person or people with that same type of mentality, like they don't care who they use. They don't care about like they don't care for the truth. They don't care for sparing people. They don't care for anyone else outside of themselves. And I guess going into like I was being around a lot of like selfish people, even people who portray to be so selfless. um, I was around a lot of like selfish people who um, just like required me to be like either their emotional like punching bag, carrying their emotional weight. I remember like the guy I was dealing with, like he really got upset with me because I wasn't going to be his free therapist. I didn't want to because every conversation I would suggest him it'll be of the same thing. I understand people have to talk through things, but I would let him know like, this is something you could heal from. This is something you can change. Go see help. Didn't want to do it. And then of course I was a bitch. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I was all kinds of shit. The worst person in the world basically. And I think that's how a lot of people were able to maintain such control over me, even including my mom, was by spreading. I was trying to show up in a way or be the perfect daughter, be the good daughter, the good, whatever, to her because I just had grown up to believe that like whatever she was dealing, like her problems were my problems to fix, and it was my responsibility. And I even recorded, speaking of like the Pluto situation, when it first even went into my eighth house, my sister got sick and passed. And that whole time she was in hospice, I actually was on live on YouTube, and I'm jumping around because I'm again thinking out loud. I was on live on YouTube, and I went back and watched it a while ago, and I just noticed how I was completely disregarding how I felt, and I didn't realize how like my entire life I had been putting how I felt to the side so much to where I couldn't even understand what I was feeling personally because I was so caught up on how it's like making sure my mom was regulated, my mom was feeling good, like, and respectfully, like anyone would, like, you lose a sibling, of course, like I understood that my mom was like that's her child, but I remember watching that thing and be like, girl, that is your sister. Like, I even remember my therapist like looking at me every time she would ask me about my sister, and I'll be like, well, I'm just worried about my mom right now, da 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 da. She was like, well, how do you feel, and I couldn't really tell her. Um, and then I'm somebody who kind of hides. I self isolate, and like that's how I recharge, I guess. It's not always good because sometimes I'm suffering in silence, and like last night was kind of like a suffer in silence type of thing. I don't know. I'm kind of vulnerable more on like threads and stuff like that. But yeah, like I like isolate and suffer in silence, right? And because that's just how I just was like conditioned. And so but yeah, I had realized like I felt so responsible for putting everyone else's feelings before mine, everyone else's safety, freedom, health before mine. For instance, like the guy that I was seeing had done something that should have like sent him to jail for, and I think I still can, but um, I don't know yet. Um, I I think that's the hardest thing. It was that's been it's been hard to get over in a minute, like for me, because I want to equate it. It's not the exact same because I didn't get shot. I was planning to be shot, but um, they were planning to shoot me. But um, I what happened? I hmm, it's been hardest to get over because it's like, oh, I was relating it. It was like the Tory Lane situation, with Meg, and I don't know if you know her story, but basically she tells how like initially it happened and she was still concerned about his safety when the police showed up. It was something similar to that with me. And um and in turn, if you know, like if you remember how it played out, um Tory knew what he did and he admitted it the night on the phone. You know what I mean? Trying to cover it up. Was scared for his freedom and everything. But even after that woman protected him, he went on this whole like gathered like all these people, and in this case it's on a larger scale, so it's the half the damn world to make it seem like, you know like Meg was lying, and she made it like, made it all up, and like the psychological torture that did to her, and like that was just so fucking dark. So imagine that, but on a smaller scale. It's something similar to what I went through. Um, Simply to protect his ego and his personality. You know, I just never. I was in that by myself. Like I had never felt like. I mean, I have dealt with situations in the home again because I had an abusive brother, very abusive brother. Um, I've dealt with a man being protected instead of disciplined or like held accountable or even being punished for holding someone accountable for what they did. For instance, I'm gonna just take it back. I know I'm jumping around, but I have to just talk. Like with my brother, there's this one prominent time, and this is where I knew like that is what led me to allowing to making the choice that I made to not press charges on this past guy, because he should be on somebody's sex offender list, just so you know. But um, like with my older brother, it was just one time where like my brother is he liked to hit on women, so um he like it was another moment where I was like 7. No, I wasn't 7, I was like 10. He was 17, so he was 7 years older than me. And you know he was hurting me and my sister, and I didn't know who else to call, so I called my dad, and my dad called the police. The police showed up, made a whole report or whatever. And I got home, my mom, who I'm no longer in contact with, um she kind of like came in and was raging. He is knocked out, this dog, y'all. Um, my mom came in raging and punished me basically for um doing what I did. So the message I got was that was wrong. Like I was the bad guy for calling for help. Why is like what I mean? Like, and then I blame myself for that. And then I remember even crying and writing like because everyone was so mad at me because it's basically like, why didn't you just shut up and take it? And knowing my mom wouldn't have protected me. So, like, I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but like, I remember sitting, there's like an ottoman we had, um, like an ottoman. You know how, like, when people used to have like the sectional couches, it was like an ottoman in the middle that was used as like a coffee table sometimes. Um, so my mom, so not my mom, I remember sitting on the floor by the ottoman and crying. And I wrote an I'm sorry note. And I just, like, I'm sorry letter, whatever, because what the fuck am I sorry for? One, but that's like, I realized how bad I was made to feel for making that decision to stand up for myself the best way I knew how, which was to call for help from my dad, who helped me by calling the fucking police. And I remember telling that to my therapist, and I shrugged it off like, yeah, she stopped me. She was like, he should have went to jail. And I was like the first time I had that validated, you know. And again, it just opened a can of worms into like to all of that shit is connected to it, to how I've let men treat me. And for instance, like with my brother too, like he didn't like my mouth. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to talk back. I'm going to like stand up for myself, you know. And some men just feel like you shouldn't, as a woman, as a girl, and you refuse, they want to force you into doing so. This guy here that I was dealing with, he was trying to like I was like I'm very expressive on my face. He was trying to convince me that his DV charge wasn't his fault, you know, but he has scars on his hands. Okay, this is the guy I was dealing with earlier, you know, and it's not like letting it slide, like, huh, whatever. It alarmed me then, but when he noticed that it alarmed me is when he would be like, they would pull out the, like, don't be judgmental. I just really cared so much about what people thought of me, and I didn't want to be perceived as something that I wasn't, but it didn't really matter at all, because again, it's not necessarily about like me. It's just like everything, like when it came to an image being protected, I was gonna be thrown under the bus regardless. Freedom being protected, I'm gonna be thrown under the bus. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but on that row. That boy CP. Oh, that baby. He just a baby. He's like rubbing his eyes. Okay. But yeah. Long story short, y'all, that whole situation um has really affected me. And I've gotten to the root. I've been in therapy. I understand what limerence is. I know I'm a delusional bitch. Okay. Shout out to Neptune squaring my fucking Mars. Okay. Right. Like that's what I cried about too. Last night because I was just like, why am I this way? Like, why do I like forgive so easily? Why did I care about people, like pleasing people, keeping people, like where, like I don't know. Why did I feel like I was responsible for maintaining that? Oh, let me go back to this. Like when it first started, the Pluto thing. When it first started, when my sister was in hospice, I remember myself like it was this like this shit was alarming to me when it happened. But my entire family was like this with me. Um, I remember my sister. They were all up at the hospital, and I wanted to be home. And like, she texted me saying like, "Hey, like, oh, it's heavy up here, so sad and whatever, depressing. Come up here and basically provide like comedic relief." Um, Comedy is how I like cope. So I feel like I'm naturally like I like to make people laugh, but I feel like I even was doing this during my last reading that I got. Um, I was being overly funny or trying to be because I was trying to like kind of mask the real um shit that I wanted to get into, but I just was really like more concerned about career at the time. This weekend. Um, but I remember like them saying like, "Hey, come to the hospital, come to the hospital and provide comedic relief because it's depressing. Basically, come take on all of this heaviness from us and like be our puppet basically." And I even remember other times like when my sister, and I don't think she may or may not be aware of this. She's like 2 years old younger than me. But I remember um she would she basically said like someone needs to go be at the hospital with mama, right? And I was kind of expected to be the one that was going to take that on, right? To stay and be with her and like manage her basically, which is how I naturally am. I feel like it's like almost second nature to me now, but in a way it was kind of like when I noticed that there would be times where like it was like, no, hey Alexis, how are you feeling? Do you need a break? Like let's how about we go on like a rotation? I go 2 days, you go 2 days. You know what I'm saying? It was just like someone needs to be up there and then like looking dead at me, you know what I mean? um like it was my responsible like my responsibility. And this to get into like the whole limerence thing and the whole like I'm gonna move on. I think I am going to segue into love. I guess. Um, the whole limerence thing, like that's when it really started to hit me too. Why, like, how I had that like Cinderella complex. That's still my girl. Not gonna lie, the Brandy one. But like we know like Whitney did like a little trick, you know, with the spinoff. Basically, she basically was working on her mindset versus telling her to wait on some nigga. You know what I mean? But anyway, so yeah, like it just all started to hit me why I felt I had been struggling with that like complex, for instance, because I was be dealing with that, and like I grew up, like I wasn't really poured into like that. The confidence that people may see of me now, and me pouring into myself, like all of this, I had to build myself, and I've had people try to break it this year, try to kill it, and I don't know. I can't remember. I was in like again, speaking of limericks, because it came up, I mentioned it, and like I was like on the call with my reader, and I was kind of like I'm mad at other tarot readers who do like a lot of love readings, and like they keep people kind of stuck in limerence. And I know I was projecting, I know, but damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. But like I know I was projecting, but like damn, I did at least lose my train of thought. It was going somewhere. I know I was projecting in that area. Like, so there are some people who genuinely like are intentionally like keeping people stuck in limerence, and I don't like that. Um, that's when like codependency, twin flame shit, like it all irks me now because I see it for what it is, and I'm gonna just go this way, I guess, instead of I'll hopefully remember what I was about to say, but what I also realized too is like first of all, I don't like codependency. I don't like being codependent. I've always been, again, this is why a lot of I used to get into it, but a lot of men I still do because they don't like how independent I can be. Um I realized a lot of men like being dependent, like dependent on, like having people depend on them, whether it be financially or emotionally. And so the guy that I was seeing was like emotional. My dad isn't, he's more like financial and emotional. I noticed that, and my mom too. Like a lot, like I'm talking about like a lot of fucking control, y'all. I started seeing through, um, on macro, micro levels, personal, societal levels. Okay, so damn. Anyways, I'm just gonna talk. So with like the guy that I was seeing, um, I realized like I remember like it hit me once everything was like this is me like in hindsight looking back. It hit me when he was how like again it's an entire facade for him. So everything every move from the jump was intentional. And his goal is to get you emotionally hooked. And at the beginning when he found out that I was spiritual, um he started using those typical kindred spirit, twin flame type of speak, um, trying to convince me that I was his twin flame. And like I was like, haha, like last Pisces got me with that shit. Like, I'm a hoe by myself. Thank you. But looking back, or just even just in general, especially because once everything, like as I was processing all of this with my therapist, she called him an energetic leech. And now I see what she means because now I can see how he was trying to kind of like just trying to figure out like how to hook me at first, you know. And this is somebody who can put on a charm for a room you know. And charm is what you gotta like watch out for. You know, some bitches like me, you know, I'm charismatic, a little charming, beautiful. So let me chill, let me chill. um, but I got good intentions, bitch. You know, I ain't trying to fucking control no fucking body. But some people do that intentionally. And on a macro level, I think like I saw exactly I was even able to use how the Diddy situation, the Epstein situation, and apply it to what happened to me because or what I went through because it's like the same people like that operate with the same tactic. It's like a I don't know if it's almost like if you watch the Epstein documentary, if it's almost like watching Animal Planet documentary when they're watching how the like a tiger hunts or you know and catches its prey. Like there's people out here moving like predators, literally, like animalistic, like wildlife when it comes to women, especially, um, and anything else. Um, but that was just very dark to go through. I'm still healing from that. I've healed a lot from it. I bounced back pretty fast from it. I do struggle, indeed struggle with like um love, you know. Like I said, like I be having crushes or I have a crush that's been like I cannot shake in that in like an obsessive way. Like I genuinely like I like this person, but I can't allow myself to have those feelings because I'm afraid of believing in an illusion again, you know. And oh, I had this analogy come to me too, as far as like illusions and and what it's like to for them to just be like stripped away. And I'm gonna use peaches, like a peach orchard. Bear with me. Um, like for instance, especially there was peaches are relevant to the guy I was dealing with. But like imagine peaches, right? Like say if you're walking outside or you know walking down the street in your neighborhood, right? And all of a sudden you see a couple peach trees that are blooming and fruiting and everything looks so ripe, so clean, so bright. And like you know, you never noticed that tree before, right? I mean, those trees, it's there now. You're like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. I haven't seen that. Where? How long it's been? You know? Okay. And you walk up to the tree, and then you know, one of the trees, and you grab like, you know, you grab one, and you even you test it out, you feel it, you look at it, like you know, your parents taught you how to look at a Like what you thought, you know, like they taught you how to look at a peach, a ripe fruit, when to pick it, when it look ripe to eat, you know. And it's like as soon as you bite into it, you fucking faint, and then you wake up, and the doctor is over you on some like, yo, like, why the fuck did you eat that peach, girl? The hell is wrong with you? And you're like, what you mean? Like, I thought it was a real peach. It was like, no, like, didn't you like? Why didn't you know that? Like it's clearly like say if they like hold it up over you, but he's like it's clearly like worms and shit coming out of it. Like how did you not notice that? And I was like, well, when I walked up to it, or when I went to go pick it, I felt it and I looked at it. It looked like a regular like a regular peach, a ready peach. It's like no, well, where did you find these peaches, or something? And explain it. Bear with me. And the doctor goes, "Oh, you didn't know? Like, there's certain trees out here that will mimic peach trees, you know, all because they want to get rid of their fruit faster or something, or, they want to be picked, or, you know, I don't know, make it fit, like, make it work. It's imagination, so just roll with me. But like, they just want to, you just want to, like, basically, like, the trees are, they mimic real peaches, and like, you should know better. I'm like, well, no, I didn't know that. I'm assuming that a peach tree is a peach tree when I see a peach tree, you know? Like, it looks like a peach tree, acted like a peach tree. The fuck you mean it's not a peach? you know? That's like, no, girl. Um, you gotta do better, And it's like, it feels like a little self blame, You're like, well, how did I miss? What did I miss? But I was like, how the fuck did I miss that shit? And it's like, sometimes you gotta learn through experience, I guess. But I wish somebody would have warned me that there are people like that out here, genuine people. Like, and I'm using the guy that I was dealing with because he was like the biggest facade, like biggest mask that had to fall, right? But like, I had friends where I had that same realization with, like, oh, when you realize, like, oh, these people didn't like me the entire time, you know, um, you know, like, the entire time I'm thinking like we're friends, and you actually want me dead, can't stand my guts, all because I told you that, like, you have one life, like, go live it, you can always make your dreams happen or some shit. Like, I remember I was going into the place where I used to work at, and they just did not like the fact that I would be like a reminder. Not even, I didn't realize I was doing that until after everyone hated me when I would be kind of telling them, like, hey, like, do your own thing on the outside of work because you don't want to end up here miserable and stuff like that, and like, waiting around for a couple dollar raise, like $2 or whatever. And that would trigger some people because some people had been there for years, just on autopilot basically, and they didn't want to like deal with the fact that they had like wasted their life a little bit, wasted their time, didn't really invest in themselves, and some people just felt inadequate, incompetent. And me being like a direct person, someone who didn't mind speaking up, for instance, like the boss that bullied me and the guy I was seeing work there, do not judge me. Um, basically, like, they couldn't even, I was in a conference room, and sometimes you don't even realize what God is doing when He's showing you the type of people these are. But like, I would be in a meeting, and these people couldn't, they wouldn't dare speak up for their employees. They wouldn't fight for them, or they wouldn't, like, because then they were managers, right? But they wouldn't like speak up. They wouldn't rebuttal, because they were in fear of their job. So I guess they grew up with not the grew up. They were in the mindset. A lot of people were in the mindset of shut up, put your head down, go along. Go along, play along, right? And I'm like, I wasn't playing by that. So like, I was in the meeting with them one day, and they were like pushing all of this stuff on whatever. And for my department, I spoke up. I was like, why are we waiting till 7 p.m., to send out all of this stuff when it's like the last second, and then like FedEx may or may not come back or whatever. And it was a genuine question. So I spoke up, things got fixed, things got sent out before, you know, whatever. But I wasn't operating in that fear of losing my job, like they were. But these were the same people who came up with tactics and whatever, like secret things or secret like trying to get close to people so they can like what's in it, like it's like that street mentality, that prison mentality. And this is why I don't like, I don't want to date nobody who's still stuck in that hood mentality. Like that shit is not cute. At least that mentality. I am from the trenches. But I'm sheltered. So I didn't know people were out here like that. But even my own mom was getting one over on me, hustling me. I didn't even fucking know. So, um, yeah, like people with that mentality, they kind of like who refuse to like grow out of it. Like you can't even. I remember I used to get so frustrated trying to get him to understand. Like I say what I mean. I mean what I say. Like I don't have to lie. I don't say things just because I know it's what you want to hear, you know, um, so I can get what I want out of you. You know what I mean? And even if I like, I don't know, I'm not, well, I am going to get into that because like the Sheba 7 stuff, it's like, it's not even the whole damsel in distress thing. Never played that part. I just was interested in Sheba 7 one day and I was like, I mean, I still watch her stuff sometimes. I'm not gonna lie because she really is teaching women how to protect themselves from men like this. But let me just stay on topic. But anyways, people with that mentality, that hustler, like you can't trust. You gotta like get somebody before they get you type shit. Like it's sickening. It's annoying. I don't like that. It's ghetto. Don't like it. Um, I don't like that mindset at all. So it was really frustrating trying to communicate with this person because he just couldn't comprehend that, like, um, some people have morals and values, some people don't. But I also realized it's like a projection too, looking back, because whatever they thought I was doing is what they were actually doing, you know? Um, yeah, but as far as like love goes, though, I was talking about like having a crush or that I can't like trust now. Like, and going back to like the peach analogy, like um, I, it's like, after like that one incident, it's like I can't even trust the fucking apple tree now. I can't trust a pear tree. I can't trust a fucking plum tree. I can't trust an orange tree. I can't trust any type of tree that fruits because it's like, is it real? And I also came up in my reading. It's like it's not only do I want real in like within spirituality or in my art or in art in general. It's like I I can like I even question my own feelings if it's real or not because it's like um I'm afraid of like falling for a fantasy like I did before because I actually did like the guy that I was dealing with, at first. And because I had fell for that facade so hard, and like I understand that I have to take it slow from now on. I'll probably have to get to know a person for like a couple years before I take them super seriously. Um, which sucks because, but at the same time, it's like the right person is gonna go tomorrow. You know, it's like some people can put up a front for a whole year, 6 months. You know, I don't like falling hard for people. And that's why I be afraid to have a crush because it's hard to tell. Not hard to tell. Yeah, I question myself now. I do that, but as for instance, the type of crush that I have now, it's been something that's been brewing for a minute, on and off. Like I remember I even told my therapist about this person, and it's like it's crazy because I haven't even showed like no one has seen any pictures of the people I was actually in relationship with, but I've shown people this person, and it's like not in like a this is my person type of like obsession thing, like oh hey, look at my no, it's more just like I get people's input on their looks. Like it's like what do you think? I think they're cute. Um, solid. You know, I don't know. Um, I do question another thing. This is crazy about love though. It's like even as a black woman, a southern black woman, I I don't even look at myself as being hood, but because I am from there, but I was in the house. Like I'm not outside fighting no damn body. I'm not in that bullshit. I don't like that. Um, I still question though if like I feel like I was considered like an Oreo, an outcast or something. And I understand that like some of us can be outcasted so much to where they aren't even interested in their own people anymore. And I question if I have a sense that my crush was like an Oreo type of, labeled that. And I feel like I don't know if he like likes. Ooh, I thought someone was crawling on me. I don't even know. I don't know if he like likes black women for real. You know, he never said anything bad, but I also never like seen much, you know, of affirming. Oh, like that means I think you could assume so, like you would believe so, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I'm just like scarred. Venus is in Libra right now, and I feel like that's the only good thing right now because I basically got my dream bag for the free ski um this morning after crying. I got told to lighten up, spirit, by the cards. I mean, yelled at by these cards. Speaking of the cards, let me get into it because we're an hour in. I don't really think I said much things profound. I was just telling my story. I might go into more in detail next week or something. I don't know. So let me grab a card. We're not doing tarot because I don't. It's enough readings right now. But we're gonna use our mind deck. I'm gonna have to bust a move right quick or something. Yeah, I also need to like make more music. That's what I need to do. And it's like with music, I've been very I've been writing, but I haven't been recording much, and I've been hesitant because like it's a lot of anger coming up right now, and part of me doesn't really want to feel it. I guess a part of me wants to just be over it. Part of me just wants to be done with it. So, speaking of release, um, you're being asked to release any toxic people, situations from your life. You deserve to be free of all drama, and this this is the first step to achieving that. We have pay attention and bravery. Bravery, you're being asked to make a tough decision that you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable, but you have to do. But you do have the strength and bravery to make this decision, and you will feel so much lighter when you do. Okay. And then you're being asked to pay extra close attention to both the signs you're being given, both subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed. These signs will help you see how to best move forward in order to live your best life. Okay. I feel like I am trying to pay attention. Go to bed, sir. I'm gonna pull a couple more, or one more maybe. But overall, like with this whole like Pluto going direct thing, it's more of just like I understand. Like I feel like I learned a lot from everything that happened. I stand 10 toes down on who I am and how I am, and I'm not changing shit. I'm not changing shit. I don't care how people feel. I'm learning how to like prioritize myself and be okay with that. Yeah, receive and give at the bottom. You're being asked to be open to receiving universal gifts. This could come in the form of love, money, compliments, healing energy, and universal wisdom. Know that you're worthy of these gifts and open up to them. And give. One of the best feelings we can experience is giving to others. So this is like I'm getting like the Six of Pentacles, like a good balance. Do both. Do both. But receive. Please lay down, sir. You see him. Oh, shit, my back. I am going to do the Magical Spirit deck next. I'm not doing tarot or my Gypsy Oracle. I might pull a love card. Keeping people in limericks. I don't know. We're just gonna see what Spirit wants to give us. I'm just expressing myself today. That was the goal. Get my ass back out there, show my ass again. Stop fucking hiding like I've been doing. Not, yeah. It's kind of hard to do it because I'm laying down. My back. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is like my favorite deck system too. There we go. Something. Is it the mirror? Alright. We got momentum, creativity, action, flower child. At the bottom, find those who inspire you to bloom. And then behind that is you are worthy of beautiful things, the Silver Queen, divine, magnetic, and valuable. But we're just gonna read this one. And if you have it, iconic. Okay. What if your strangers It's your uniqueness. Mm, damn, that was weird how that flew out though. I hope you guys can hear me. Still 14. I'm trying to hurry up before it cuts out on me. All right, 14. Flower child, self pollination, momentum, creativity, action. I am the beekeeper of my own garden that grows. It is so easy to accidentally live for others, for their approval, praise, and validation. The ego thrives off of this, but it's easier. It's it's easier for it to exist and make. Oh, there's no but in there. Okay, the ego thrives off of this. It's easier for it to exist and make choices that way. But more than ever, now is the time for you to take your focus off of all the wants of others and start focusing on the pulls of your soul and your heart. Even if it doesn't seem right, what does your spirit call you to do? What is it that you really want to do to feel? Ironically, perhaps channeling your energy where the energy there would end up being the best service to others. Not desperate attempts to satisfy that come from lack, comfortableness, and scarcity. Dear flower child, throwing her seeds in flowers, you are blooming even when you thought you couldn't. Your sweetness is now attracting the bees. Think of receive one. Where's Think of your energy channels as bees that pollinate, nourish flowers, and grow. You have the power to summon them and send them wherever you want. Where you send them, Queen Bee. Remember this card has the energy of royalty behind it. What you say, what you think has great power behind it now. With so many bees on your side, now is a point in time for creativity projects and taking action wherever it is that you really want to do. Anything you act on or set intentions for has the perfect sacred soil right now. On the physical and on physical and metaphysical levels, so plant your seed. Magic flower, you are ripe with power and possibility. Use it. Drawing this card can also be an affirmation of self-love and honoring your own sacred life. You're at a place of rich soil and nutrients. You planted yourself, water yourself. You've grown so much because of it, and so you shall continue. Even when it feels like you've been buried, you still find a way to flourish. Okay. It's basically saying just take action and take the first step on any projects that you and myself have been thinking about and been wanting to do for a minute. So yeah, and this is it. This is the first step for me. I'm not gonna lie. I need my ancestors to calm down. Okay. um, I am gonna grab some food. I just grabbed them. I'm gonna just do a fear card. These I got these for Pluto. Pluto is you gotta face your fears. This shit is gonna bring it up, so get over it. Might as well get the deck to let you know which one you gotta face this week. What's the fear card first? Spirit, please, and thank you. Okay. Fear is feedback, bringing awareness to your insecurities. Question them, reprogram them, and step through them. Number 2. Step through them. Should I do one more? Let's see. It's not really flowing. The incense went out. I don't know. No, that's gonna be it for right now. And then what we gonna do? We go do one of these. Okay, what's even though I'm so turned off love, man. What's one? It's a card, sir. Trying to take back control of your life. I think I love that for yourself. Okay, from codependency because it's at the bottom. Oops. Deception and control. Yeah. I think these are just hitting on like the things I spoke about with love earlier. Dealing with someone who likes to be an emotional hook, try to emotionally hook you. Yeah, that motherfucker told me that. That is crazy. I need to pay attention. Like, motherfucker told me that because I remember we were out to eat and he was like, you don't want to get married again unless there is an emotional connection. It's like the intent. This man really likes to get women out of their peace, out of their like into that reactive state. They like that, like people who like that, and like you can only do that through if you have an emotional tether to somebody. You know what I mean? So yeah, find those who inspire you to bloom. If you have a motherfucker, and call your energy back to you. I don't know. If you have a motherfucker that has been in your life and has been having you mad reactive or wanting you to be reactive or something, let them go. Free yourself. Free yourself. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Leave that nigga. You come to me for a reading, bitch. Leave that nigga, get you a new one. The fuck? You ain't doing no limits, no codependency around here. Yeah, change it up. Let it go. Let it go. But yeah, compassion and abundance. Love is out there for you. God damn it. God damn it. I'm over it. Over it, I tell you. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you for hearing me ramble. If you stayed this long, if not, whatever. Appreciate it. I'll probably be back soon. Probably have some music soon. Not probably. I will have music soon. So, oop, I want to say to show you this. You are only limited. You are only limited by your own beliefs, expectations, and self-imposed boundaries. So, free yourself. Same. I'm doing it myself to myself. I had to. When I say you, I pay to get red for filth. Like red to like. I had a reading Saturday, and to this day, it's only Tuesday. Only Tuesday, and I've been having moments where I just go, And you know what's so funny? That motherfucker is so funny. Like I think he wanted to call me delusional bitch so bad. Not on purpose, like to be mean. But I think I said this earlier, but like I brought up limerence, and I think I said this. I don't know if I did. I'm gonna say it again, but I brought up limerence. I've been laughing at this part, and again, I was projecting onto them people, them readers, and and he kind of like he kind of like looked at me. I guess 'cause, he saw it in the chart. He was like, you know what I mean, like a code, okay. But oh my god, he was looking at me like this, and he genuinely he was like, he was like, is it really other people? Mm. That shit has been killing me. Oh my god, that shit has been killing me. That shit has been killing me. He was looking at me like, bitch, is it really other people that's keeping you in limerence? Hmm. Let's talk about that. But I'm gone. Oh my god. Nice, he's kind of cute too. But I'm going, guys. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how else to end it, so I'm just